don't embarrass me because I don't want them to think I'm getting buzzed. So y'all need to
I did let them know. Hey everybody. Oh, it's live now. Okay, great.
Oh, it's
Hey,
live. Dang, why
yeah, we
you
live.
excited to talking?
I said start broadcast, Audrey. Golly.
Oh,
Hey everybody, this is Royal Man Hill TV. Welcome back to another episode. I think we're episode 3 of season 2. Tonight we have the usual, except for Corey Mercer. He will not be on tonight. He has daddy duties tonight, so
hey
shout out to
Corey.
him. But right now, we have the incomparable Queen Audrey right
Hi
here.
guys.
She will be assisting like always, and then obviously the other two uh, kids. I was actually about to make a joke about them, but I'm not going. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna just call it how it is. We got Ashton, King Ashton, and we got King John. He will be on the show as well momentarily. You see in the background, being Mary Jane has had like a marathon all day on Centric. So that's what you see back there, and I don't feel like cutting it off for y'all. So there it is.
Being Mary Jane was good this season though.
It really
It was
was, and the season finale is tonight. So um, we won't be long. We won't tarry too long.
no.
About an hour, maybe hour 15. That's all we're gonna do. To the folks that are viewing at home, make sure you share this with everybody. Uh, and before we even get in the topic, we're gonna allow my other two co-hosts to try to get here um, quick and in a hurry so that we can talk about Black Women Matters. Obviously, for the past couple weeks, ever since I went ahead, I'll just go ahead and tell y'all. Last week, I said we were talking about men and finances. Then I seen Ashton tweet something and retweet something, and I said I'm calling the audible. And so now we're talking about Black Women Matters. And for the past couple of weeks, it looks like we've been aligned with the universe. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, that's what we're talking about tonight. Uh, yeah. So Audrey, how's your day been? How's your week been?
My day, my week, my life has been okay. Um, we might be having a cookout for Christmas. It's been like 75 degrees outside. It's been very hot. um, but
just
other than that,
just a little bit of me actually believed you for a moment. I said, "Wow, that's actually innovative." Like cookout for Christmas. It's,
no, like seriously, we might have a cookout for Christmas because it's hot. Like it's really hot down here in the middle of December.
I
But
feel you.
everything is good. God is good. Life is good. Just taking it day by day. Almost got trolled on Twitter today.
Yeah,
Somebody called
we
you out
all.
your name.
Yeah, so Pete, to everybody that don't know, if you follow me on Twitter, follow me. If you don't follow me, you can follow me now, the real underscore Elliot. Today I tweeted something that goes along with the Black Women Matters theme. Um, and this guy who don't follow me decided to call me a simp. A simp. And I said, excuse me, I had the simp tweet of the year? For real? That's how you feel? So I had to troll him back a little bit. I was like, me being a simp, or are you just threatened and also offended by what I just said? Shut your mouth. Get out of my mentions. Don't go there with me. You
You
don't know me
can't,
like
man. Like following up with this social media logic will have you.
that.
It makes me question my upbringing and my good sense. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was
It,
one girl. Actually, she posted it today. If a man is 25 plus and never proposed to a girl, then something's wrong with him.
oh my God. I am 25 years old and I've never proposed to a woman. So
Well,
therefore,
Elliot, you got
I
issues.
must I must be crazy out my mind. I must be stupid. I must be broke. And I am broke. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do not have it like that.
You got issues, then I guess.
I must got some issues.
You got problems.
So that's what's been going on lately. To the couple viewers, it's been fluctuating from 3 to 1. We want everybody to get in on this episode tonight. We're talking Royal Manhood TV. I have several emails that I've gotten from different women. I got a couple people that I need to fuss out because they were supposed to do it and they didn't do it. And if they ever watch this, just know that I thought we were better than this. I thought we were cool. I thought we were cool, but some people forgot, and it's okay. What else has been happening in the news? Obviously, to go along with the theme, Serena Williams was the cover of Sports Illustrated for Sports Athlete of the Year, something like that. Um, and she got compared to a horse.
Oh,
that
horse,
took,
because she didn't run a 5K.
yeah, so that took Black Twitter to a whole different level. Um, so that's been interesting to watch. Um, hmm, the
Aisha
Warriors
Curry.
lost. Oh, Aisha Curry, another one that goes along with the theme. Uh, just this past Sunday, right? Was it Sunday? Or was it last
Sunday
Sunday?
before last week. Yes.
Last week. So last week, Miss Aisha Curry, she goes on and states her standards in Black Twitter in all of its ugliness and jacked upness, decided to say, "Oh, she's judging, fam, fam," and
And
then,
and then this
oh,
the thing that get me. What I have a question for these folks with the word slut shaming, because when I was growing up, being a slut was a shame. So um, what is with this slut shaming? I don't get it.
yeah, I don't understand it either. She said
I
being
don't,
a
I
slut
don't,
was a
I
shame.
don't. It was a shame. Like I don't get that. I mean, do you want people to not judge you because of you making decisions to sleep? Okay, well, I won't judge you about it. But then, in the same token, don't get mad when people say, what you doing ain't cute.
Right.
Well, then whatever. I might get some comments on here saying I'm slut shaming too. So let me be quiet.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Whatever that
Shouldn't.
means.
I was
Whatever that
about
means.
to.
I don't know.
I was about to quote the very thing you said, but I was like, nah, they gonna try to call her misogynistic or something. So let me just chill.
Right.
But yeah, that happened. You know, what's interesting about that though is that somebody decided to bring black men into the mix and make a blog that had nothing. It had nothing to do with black men. Like, how did you
I mean, now
find a way?
there are some girls who, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm empathetic towards their feelings. A lot of girls feel like they have to take their clothes off to get attention because those are the type of girls that men go for. But the thing about it is, of course you're gonna get their attention. They ain't blind.
Right,
But that don't mean they want to wife you because you put yourself out there like that. They're paying attention because they're not blind, but they're not paying attention to a point where you say, "Look, that's the type of girl I want to be with. Like I want to settle down with somebody like that." Like, no.
exactly. Yeah, I don't. When I read the blog, it said something like, "My problem isn't Aisha Curry's uh her not thought process, but what she said. Her problem was with black men using what like Aisha Curry says and actually agreeing with it or something like that, something to that effect." And I was like, black men can agree with her? Like, we're not
Men
supposed to
are
agree with her or something? Because
y'all were
I definitely agreed with her, but
Mhm.
again, maybe since I'm doing a show Black Women Matters, that means I gotta make sure Black women matter of all area of the aspects. So therefore, I'm not gonna get into my views of what Aisha Curry says, but I agree with her. Uh, so yeah, I don't want to be called misogynistic or a simp on my show. Trying to be better.
I'm trying to interact with this chat under our video, but it keeps crashing. So I'm not gonna do that no more.
Oh, people crashing the site.
It's crashing on my phone. I don't know why. I have no
So,
idea why.
so yeah, right now we're waiting for a couple of our people. We'll probably end up getting started in a few minutes with out them, but they'll be here. They just not here just yet. So if you're viewing this right now, I need you to tweet your link or tweet the link to this currently, right now. Raw Man Hood TV. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your uncle, tell your cousin's cousin from the backyard barbecue that happened on Centric.
You are so
Um,
Kurt Franklin. This your nephew. This your homie. This your cousin.
this is all of that. So just and I'm looking at the chat right now. So if you want to say something in the chat too, that's fine as well. Uh, with that being said, we're gonna let Miss Audrey. You can go ahead and talk about. Well, matter of fact, let me pull up the tweet that happened. Um, That
You
sparked
talking
the
about
whole,
Ashton's? You're talking about Ashton's tweet?
yeah.
Oh gosh, my shirt. Y'all excuse me. And if you hear
Mhm.
some talking, my father is outside under our garage. Now it's dark outside. You know the sun go down like 4:30 because of this time change. My dad is under our garage washing his car.
All right. So the other day, my co-host Ashton, he tweeted, "The discouraging thing is that it seems as if our praises are minimized, and those black men who internalize hatred for black women get the spotlight." A black woman, she retweeted and said, "As the numbers of our men who love us diminish, so has interest in them. Other men seem safer now, sadly." So, Audrey, you were first to be able to see this in our personal uh, group chat with the rest of the co-hosts. What were your thoughts on this?
My initial thought, I will say, I was disheartened to see. It was disheartening to see that. Like it was sad to really see that. Like this is how we, because we're supposed to stand together with all the stuff that's going on with Black America, Black Lives Matter, and we're supposed to be standing up, Queen, hey Black girl, melanin love, whatever you want to call it, melanin. What is it, melanin or melanin? I be saying it wrong.
I think it's melanin.
Melanin, whatever. I be saying melanin. It just looks easier to say, but whatever. Um, we're supposed to be standing together.
Uh, uh,
I can spell it, but I can't say it. Don't y'all judge me.
just like you got on me about Mr. Boozy or Bootsy, how you pronounce
Bootsy,
it?
it's Bootsy. So, it was disheartening to see that because, we talk about people of other races, but people of other races will uplift their own. They will have total support for each other. And then when it comes to us, like we'll feed one another to the dogs. Like
Mhm.
it's sad, and I understand what Ashton is saying when he said, the guys who don't care about women, they get the spotlight. You have to understand too that there are a lot of people who aren't raised like how we're raised.
Yeah,
You know, there are a lot of people. Some people do have both parents in the home, and they still have an unstable household. So a lot of people aren't aware of how they should be treated. So with that being said, they'll take somebody who's just, you know, yeah, he might beat on me, but he's still a man. You
right,
know, he might beat on me, he might cuss me out, but he's still a man. He ain't no punk. But in actuality, yes, he is. And then you get a nice guy, mild mannered, sweet, treat you like somebody. Oh no, he's gay. Like something's wrong with him because a man ain't supposed to be soft. Like
right.
it's just it has a lot to do with people's upbringing, and it also has a lot to do with a person's self-esteem or self-esteem. um and it was something else I had to say, but I forgot what I had to say. Oh, I was having a conversation with and one of my friends, and he was saying how sometimes it's hard trying to please an African American woman because we have the tendency of knocking them down. They don't really
Mm,
protect us because we don't protect them. And it's just like, I mean, when we're nice to you, and he was saying from a man's standpoint, when we're nice to you and treat you like somebody, you don't cherish you, you treat us like crap, but then you want us to defend you, and it's like, we don't know what to do for you.
right.
His words, not mine. It was very disheartening to see that. Very, very, very disheartening.
Yeah. Um, I would agree. I think my heart really like dropped when I read it the first time. I started passing it around to different people. And I'm like, yo, is this really how like, and just specifically to women, I said, is this really how y'all feel? Like what is it? Like, what have we done? How do we get to this point? And majority of them were like, I wouldn't say necessarily that's how I feel, but that is, I agree to what she's saying. I understand what she's saying, and I get it. Um, So in a minute, I'll read some emails that I've gotten about it too. It just seems as though now, even today, like the timeline was crazy today. We
Mhm.
had a video of a white male who was not a cop um, surface, and I think a black guy was the one who put the video up and was like, "Stop stealing from Victoria's Secret" or something like that. And was making a joke about it. Well, Ashton retweeted and said this is not a joke, and it spiraled out of control. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Ashton has to say about everything that went on today, because I was like on and off throughout the day. But from what I did see, there was a lot of black men who did not have any type of sympathy or support for this black woman who was literally thrown to the ground by another white male, by
Mhm.
a white male, period. So it's like even what the lady said on Ashton's tweet, now I think about it, it's like, well, do you feel safer even seeing that too? And it's like, where is their protection, period, point blank? And more importantly, why is it that black men, we can never get it right? Like, there's some black men who can get it right, but why is the majority of us can't get it right and we don't cherish what we have? Why must we always have to have more than one? This type of mindset? Are we conditioned that way? Is it the way that we were taught and brought up? Like, did people teach some black men that, hey, you are supposed to divide and conquer when it comes to black women and care less about their feelings, that type of thing? So there's a lot of nuances that go on with it. And so when I read it, I was like, dang, like that's tough. And even though I feel like I'm a good dude, I'm still imperfect, and I feel like I still have to do better as a black man in general too.
I'm
So,
asking a question now. What leads African American men to be misogynistic?
oh my God,
Mm.
what leads African American men to be misogynistic? Hey, to the viewers that are watching right now, if you can tweet us using RMTV, use that hashtag RMTV, so that we can see your comments and your thoughts about what we're talking about. Right now, we have just me and Audrey. John will be on shortly, as well as Ashton. They're somewhere, but they told me they were coming. They're on their way. Um, so we're not going to be the only two out here giving our views. So to those viewers that are out there right now, please uh, get on Twitter, share this with your friends, tweet, not even just tweet this link out, text it out, because it's very, very important. For the past couple of weeks, we've been seeing many people talking about this. So it's been going along the lines of what we are talking about tonight. Black women matter. Pound sign, Black women matter. So, oh, he said he's fighting Houston traffic. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
Understood. So with that said, we to answer your question, Audrey, um, I don't know. I honestly don't know, uh, because I think most of the time, and I might be reaching here, a lot of black men seem to find their identity in what they see. So like entertainment, music videos, the culture. Um, and more importantly, and I tweeted this earlier today, I think a lot of black men or African American men are look to impress other black men. Um,
Gay.
and it's also known as gay. But they look to impress it. And I say this because I've not only seen it, but I've been in circles where, you know, there's there's no reverence for the woman at all. Like any dude who is watching this now, who is me, who's Ashton, who's John, we know specifically that when 9 times out of ten in a circle full of men, 9 times out of ten, there's a rare few that there's no reverence for women at all. Like at points in times, like when it comes to sexuality, like you have a threesome with a girl, two different girls, you're quick to put it to tell somebody about it, right? So it's like
Mhm.
what is your motive? Is your motive to divide and conquer and tell all your friends about it? Or like, like you bag the baddest girl in school and then you have sex with her and then you tell everybody, who are you trying to impress? Um, so I think a lot of times, you know, does misogynistic does the misogynistic I can't even put it in a plural form. Misogynism, there we go. I'm saying that. I don't even know if that's right. Is
Hmm.
misogynism among black men, is it specifically toward them trying to impress their other counterparts? And or
Twitter's.
have they been taught that?
Okay, ask that question again. Is misogyny
Is
what?
misogyny, misogynism,
Whatever.
is is it is mis wait, what did I say? Dang. Um, is misogyny, I guess the question is misogynism the word that I made up? Is it because that they are looking to impress other black men? Are they looking to be get approval from other black men?
I have to make sure I tweet it right because Twitter don't have an edit button.
To the viewers that are the viewers have been going up and down. It's crazy. Um, to the
Yeah, I
viewers,
asked some questions too.
yeah, ask us some questions because I don't want to get too deep into the
Yeah.
Black Women's Matter convo without two of my other people here too. But tweet us, let us know your thoughts, so we can engage with you. This is definitely one for you. Why somebody texting me saying, "Hey, uh, we want you all to be engaged with us tonight. We may do a part two. I'm actually thinking about doing the confessions of a black man type of thing. So that might be good too. But anyway, that's not the point. That's not the end of the show. So we're not stopping it right now. Tweet us, to the viewers that are watching. Put that link out to everybody. Text it, group me it, WhatsApp it, Facebook it, Instagram it, even though you can't hit a link except it's on your bio, and tweet it. Do whatever you got to do. Get people to view this right now. Engage in it. Um, so yeah, we can talk about Black Women Matter and why they matter. Somebody said chat won't work on my phone. Girl, if you don't go to Twitter, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just tweet us. Tweet us and I'll retweet. I'll be sure to retweet. I'm retweeting everybody who has the hashtag. But I will say, as a black woman, it hurts my feelings when I see women get ridiculed. Like Serena Williams, man. Serena is a beast. Ain't no need to sit here and discredit her. Like she is a beast, and
Hmm.
she gets she gets dragged because she looks like a man, and you know what I'm saying, this is too big and that's too big. And even other women like Lupita, I can't pronounce her last name, but you know the actress Lupita. Like
Yeah,
there are, and we all ugly to somebody. So if somebody thinks Lupita is ugly, then fine. She might not be your cup of tea, and that's cool. What's ugly to you might not be ugly to me, and that's all right. We're adults, and I'm mature enough to say, look, well, if you don't like it, then that's cool. But there have been guys who, I don't know what y'all see in her, man. She's so black and she's so this and she's so that. But then you got Kylie Jenner, man. Kylie bad. I don't care what y'all say.
Kylie
You
is
got
not
these
attracted to me.
other,
I don't understand.
y'all, and don't get me wrong, Angelina Jolie is she's a beautiful white girl. But then, I mean, she don't have no enhancements on her. You say her lips beautiful, but then you got black women who, I mean, we were born with it just like her, but we ugly with ours. Like, I really feel that hurts my feelings because I'm just like, we can't help it. We cannot help it. And then she black. Look at her nose. She's so dark. Why is she so dark? Her hair nappy. Man, I see so much natural hair slander on the daily. It's one dude.
Oh,
He's sweet to me. He don't treat me bad, but I see how he talks down on black women. You know, I don't want to get with no black girl because I ain't want to be with nobody who be wearing weave. Y'all girls be all lazy and don't want to do y'all hair. White girls don't be having all that. And I'm like, I know you lying, cause listen, white girls wear extensions. White girls trying to be
mm-hmm,
us.
mm-hmm. I peeped game a
So
long time ago.
you tell me you peeped game a long time ago.
Yeah,
Like,
one girl fooled me. She had this like all this curly hair, and I was like, "Oh snap, she might be black." And then she turned around. I was like, "She definitely not black." I was like, "She definitely not black." I peeped game a long time ago. Don't even try to fool me, bro.
yeah, like they do a whole bunch of stuff to enhance or enlarge certain areas of their body. But then we have it naturally, and it's just like, man, y'all ugly, y'all this and y'all that. And it's like, well, we don't be accepted by our own, then what should we do? So then we get with Bob and Bill and Andrew and all these other guys, and then you're looking at us again. Y'all need to come back home, man. It's some good black men who will love y'all. Where?
Right? Where?
I'm looking where because y'all hate us for the longest. And it ain't all y'all, but it's like just like how y'all say, we like the good ones mess it up for the bad ones. That's just how it is.
Hmm. I don't know if that would what I just retweeted was a response to the show, but listen, anybody out there, I'm gonna just say you right now, any type of slander toward Royal Manhood TV, that is substitutes or not, I am liable to respond. Even though that one I just retweeted probably was not about anything, but it just seemed too close for comfort. So I just had to be sure.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, uh,
I rolled
we
my eyes
just
so hard just now.
so with that said, let me. There were some emails that I I've gotten from different women, different black women specifically, that I'm going to read. One of them was very very long, so I'm gonna save that one for later, um, because I think there was some depth into what she said. I thought it was great. It's awesome. So let's run through some of them. Stop texting me, man. Y'all making me laugh on air. Um, so this first one, I told them they were gonna remain anonymous. So you don't know who was saying this stuff, but I'm guarantee you for sure, unless they are, what's that girl that faked to be black, but she not black? Uh, um, what's her name? I can't remember her name. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't know her name. Did Audrey? Did you freeze? Yes, you did freeze. Okay. So I'm going to read some emails. I can't think of the girl's name who was black but not black. She's really white, but she got a little black in her. That type of thing that Twitter, so-called, like went in on. But everybody that sent me emails back, they were black. Okay, I promise you they were black. I don't know where Audrey went. She went ghost for some reason. So with that said, here's the first email. All right. I love black men. I loved them before when I lived in North Carolina, but man, do I love them now. Every jacked up piece of them too. Do I get what the tweet was attempting to portray? Yes, I do think majority of our culture is losing sight of our own. Black men don't like black women, or sight of our own. Black men don't like black women because they nag, they want natural hair, or won't cook. It applies the other way as well. Us women don't want black men who live with their mom, childish, etc. I'm not running from our culture though. Other cultures, not all, are just taught the importance of family. It's emphasized more. I moved to Utah and I'm lucky if I see a black family in the mall. I miss that. I love what we represent. Black men are beautiful. I have faith that the good ones will get what they deserve. A good woman. Thanks for including me. Much love. So, Audrey, where the heck did you go? She's not even talking. Well, to everybody that's still viewing, that was the first testimony. Well, not testimony. It's not a testimony service. um, that was the first person that I'm reading from my emails. Audrey, what the heck happened?
I don't know what happened, but I'm here.
Okay.
What did you
Uh,
say?
what was the name of the girl that was supposedly black, but she's not black, and Black Twitter went in on her?
Talking about Rachel Dolezal or whatever her name is.
Rachel D. Okay, so all the emails that I was trying to explain to my viewers while you were silent. Um, that all the emails, all the emails that I received back, um, were definitely not a Rachel D type of thing. She everybody's black unless they told me otherwise. Unless one of them is mixed or something, I don't know. I mean, even if they're mixed, I think they're still credible. Um, so yeah, that was the first email that was sent. That wasn't anything controversial, Audrey, so therefore you don't have to comment on that one.
Oh, okay.
Um, see the next one. She was no, I'm saving that one. That's what I said. That's what I say. Guys, make sure you tweet us. RMTV is the hashtag. Dang it, that one's kind of controversial too. I like that one. Nah, here goes one. Okay. It won't let me join in. Okay. I'm going to get John back in here again. Apparently,
John left.
no. He apparently he can't get in. So I'm gonna re-invite him again.
See, that's what happened when they be picking on one another about the internet service.
All right, so the other email that I have for you. I'm glad that you are speaking on this topic. I do agree with the attached post. As a single black female, I feel that I have constantly been overlooked or devalued by black men. In my experience in dating, I've noticed the recent trend of being seen as intimidating because I have goals, seen as the good girl because I don't throw myself out there, the homie because I'd rather get to know someone on a personal level before being intimate. I have also seen most men not desiring to treat me as if I am a lady. Yes, society has beaten in our heads that women are independent and can hold things down on their own, but that doesn't excuse chivalrous or courteous, whatever, acts.
What are you talking
Opening
about?
opening the door, walking with the woman not ahead or 10 steps behind. A woman wants to feel desired just like men do, but not to the point where she has to degrade her success goals, values, or morals. I am frustrated, but not to the point where I'm giving up on black men. I have seen a few that are still single and are willing to do the acts I listed, but they are too focused on obtaining their goals to be in a serious relationship, which I commend. I could talk about this all day, but this is all I can think of right now. John is here. Awesome. So that was another email from a black woman. So as I'm getting these emails back from different women, their viewpoints are somewhat of the same, but also there was one email that I'm going to read later, um, where she said, if you look at the Eric Gardner and Sandra Bland cases, you saw more men in support of Eric Garner, but men were very, very silent almost when it came to Sandra Bland. And I didn't really think about that until she said it. And I was like, dang, like real talk. Like I think dudes were really going hard for Eric Garner, but not so much for Sandra Bland. What's the difference here? What's the mishap here? When it comes to John was just in here and he left. So yeah, what's the mishap here? Why aren't men really like when it comes to cases like that? Why are men really silent when it comes to Sandra Bland, but not when it comes to Trayvon Martin? And Eric Garner, those type of things.
Ashy baby.
What's up, y'all?
Hey
Ashton,
Ashton, he home.
fighting Houston traffic. Ashton is here.
I'm here. I am here. Finally. Hello, everybody. John, he on now? He on?
He just joined.
Cool.
All right, so Ashton, you were the one that, and you're joining in at a proper time. Everybody, to those who are viewing right now, if you don't know who he is, that is Ashton Ross. He is currently in Houston, but he goes to North Carolina A&T. That is King Ashton right there, and I have the Minnesota guy, John Harper. But John, you're gonna have to put some headphones in or something, bro.
I got my headphones in. What you talking about?
Oh, it was kind of loud. My bad. So yeah, Ashton, to begin, I want you to really go into the depths of the tweet that we talked about in our group message on DM about the woman's response. We talked about it earlier in the show, but you were the one that retweeted it, so I want to know your thoughts and everything like that.
All right. For me, it's like I said in the tweet. It's a little discouraging because as a black man who values black women, who loves black women, it's a little difficult to stomach when black women feel or say or give off the vibe that black men hate black women, or that black men, don't love black women, or that there's a disparity between the two. Because I was raised and I've lived my life to, I guess, put black women and black men on the same plane. We're connected, we're equal, and we need one another to make it through. Um, I can't go against anyone's preference. I can't go against anyone's lifestyle choices or whatever. But I know for my own self, 9.9 times out of 10, when it comes to who I'm attracted to, who I want to be with, who I would consider marrying, is definitely going to be a black woman. And reasons for that is just, I mean, we connect. You know what I'm saying? We connect on a level that I can't connect on with other races, or I haven't been able to connect on with other races. So when the young lady said what she said, to me, it just really kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like an eye opener. And even with the emails that we sent out and a lot of the different things that we did to kind of prepare for this show, and even today on Twitter, it's just been, again, like I said, it's just been a eye opener because I, from my point of view, I think black men do love black women. I think black men do cherish black women, but black women's experiences have been different, and that's unfortunate. And so, we just really have to figure out where the root of that problem is, and I guess find a solution.
Facts. John, you are finally on. I want you to give your thoughts on the tweet as well before we go into some more emails that I got and even general discussion.
What's the tweet?
The tweet that I sent in the DM to y'all. Let me pull it up for you because you must have missed it.
Pull it up. I did not get that.
All right, so Ashton, he tweeted, the discouraging thing is that it seems as if our praises are minimized and those black men who internalize hatred for black women get the spotlight. A young lady retweeted and said, as the numbers of our men who love us diminish, so has interest in them. Other men seem safer now, sadly.
Ooh, that's a mouthful with that tweet. Man, where do we go with this topic? It's like like precursor, I'm married to a black woman, so I'm automatically extremely biased. So I mean, it is what it is. White's black, black love, black power, all that good stuff. But I'd almost disagree a little bit with the notion that black men are disinterested in black women. I think more so black men are becoming intimidated by black women, which should never be the case at all, or vice versa. But I wouldn't say black men are disinterested in black women. I mean, look at our generation. We're, for the most part, we're all millennials. You know, it's now acceptable to kind of date outside your race without a whole lot of backlash. Whereas, like for example, when we were all freshmen, if you said, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess with black women," you almost got your head knocked off. You know, Elliot, you and me being at NCCU, Ashton, you being at A&T, I'm pretty sure you had some similar experiences. You know, so I think dating outside your culture and outside your own race is more acceptable now. So I'm not going to say like black men are disinterested in black women. I just think it's more acceptable now to maybe branch off. Now, on the flip side, with that tweet, that last part got me where she said like, "Oh, to date other men that aren't black is safer." I'd like to know, not coming at the young lady, you know, she's speaking her thoughts and her opinions, as we all are, but I'd like to know when did it become dangerous to date African American male men. I'd admit that, you know, I walk around and look at some of my peers and I tend to scratch my head a little bit because it's like, bro, what you doing? You know, but kind of goes back to our last conversation with, you know, there's not a lot of mentors. You know, you got everybody that wants to be a leader, but no one wants to learn how to follow and take those necessary baby steps to be shaped and molded into a predominantly well-off black male, or so to speak, you know, quote unquote. So I just think we got to do a better job with that. But that last part of the tweet kind of threw me off, where it's like, what do you mean, like it's safer? Like, what do you mean, like black men dangerous or what? So that's probably all I have to say about that tweet.
Right. Ashton, if you want to follow back on that, like, what do you exactly? And I guess kind of threw me off too, but then in a way I was like, I get what she's saying, but I wanna be sure too that do you believe that was she saying that black men are dangerous, or was she just saying that because she doesn't feel protected by black men anymore, that other men outside of her race feel safer?
Yeah, as far as the safer thing goes, I can't really get with that. As far as the implication that it's dangerous to date black men, we got to look at numbers. We got to look at statistics, and we got to look at women who are being abused in black on black relationships. We got to look at um, just the mishandling of black women in our culture, period. And we have to look at our culture. We have to look at what we glorify and what we praise. You know, excuse my language, but smacking up bitches and hoes and, you know, this and that and all, you know, all of that good stuff is what we bump to. That's what we listen to. That's what we ride to. That's what we glorify. Um, and those things do translate into real life situations. Um, Not even just domestic violence, but just a simple fact of the value of black women's lives, the value of black women, period. You know, what's important to them, what is at the center and the core of their life experience. Do black men value those things the same way that black women value black men's life and experiences? Um, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that it's statistically dangerous, quote unquote, for a black man, for a black woman to date a black man or marry a black man. I will, however, say that to say that it's safer to date other races, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go there. Because one thing we do have to remember is that we are looking out of the lens of black people and a black experience, and we're also living in a culture that is very deeply ingrained with white supremacy. So black faults and black shortcomings and black, crimes and all things that are negative when it comes to black people are pushed to the forefront. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's I don't believe the notions that negative experiences in black culture are significantly higher than they are in other cultures. Even when it comes to black on black crime, when it comes to fatherless homes, when it comes to uh, domestic violence, when it comes to divorce, black people have those issues, but they are not exclusive to black people.
Right.
So you're not going to win the argument with me that white men, I guess, beat their women less than black men, or Hispanic men, are more respectable than black men. Misogyny is across the board. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Sexism is across the board. There's not one race of men out there that's just so much more respectable than another race. You know what I'm saying? But it's it's shown and it's perceived different ways by different races. So I think she has a point when it comes to the dangers, I guess, of dating black men, and also just I think she has a point when it comes to black men. Generally, I wouldn't say a majority, but generally being disinterested with black women. I don't, I don't think that, however, black men are somehow lower on the totem pole when it comes to protection of their women and this and that you know, than white men or Hispanic men or Asian men or anybody else. I just think that a lot of those things get pushed to the forefront for black men, and I also think that looking out of the lens of a black woman, you kind of focus in on the issues within your own culture, so you're not really aware, you know, of what's going on outside.
Definitely. So I don't know where Audrey's at. Audrey apparently, I don't know if I accidentally kicked her out or not. If I did, Black Women Matter. So I just want to say that. Ashley said a mouthful just then. I'm going to read off an email that I just got. Well, no, I'm not going to read off the email that I just got because then y'all know who it's from. So therefore, I'm going to read it. I think I blocked myself. It won't let me in. Matter of fact, John, if you got any other comments, go ahead and do that now while I figure out what Audrey got going on.
All right, I just think it's highly important and vital to not only just know and recognize. I apologize to y'all. I'm multitasking, trying to get the word out for RMTV. We got 7 viewers, so shout out to the 7 people watching this live right now. But I think it's important to know and understand who you are as a person. One of the things I used to hate, especially being at a HBCU, was you from Minnesota, so you don't know nothing about the struggle. You don't know what it's like to be black, or you get hit with the when I was here and I transferred to Minnesota State, you get hit with the you Uncle Tom, you trying to do better. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to better myself. I think it's important to note that as black men and black women, we have a strong tendency to put ourselves down. I've had both positive and negative experiences from African American women, all shapes, sizes, and melanin, whether you be on the lighter side or on the darker side. Some went really well, some didn't go so well. I remember getting clowned and being made fun of for the way that I dressed. You go to a historically black college university, or for the most part, a majority of the South, you dress nice. No one's asking you, well, why do you look so nice? They're just like, oh, you look nice, baby. And, that's encouraging. You go up north and other places, it's like, well, why you dress so nice? as if to say that your dressing nice is making me feel bad about myself. And as African Americans, it should never be that. What I tell people, first and foremost, is like, look, if you want to talk about me, we can talk about me. I'm a man of God first. You know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I believe in the Trinity without question. It's what I rep all day, every day. Then we can talk about my character. And then after all that is done, we can talk about me being black. You know, so I think who you are as a person and what you follow and what you believe is going to help you or anybody as an African American male or an African American woman do better and be better in life. First and foremost, you got to get your faith and your mind right.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I do think that, and I mean, there's a reason for it. I do think that black people, a lot of times do put themselves down or make themselves less. But again, like, there's a reason for that. You know, it's not inherent to us. It's not something that we're just a self-destructing culture. There's things that are set up, you know what I'm saying, for black people to walk into, you know, traps, and we have to begin to tear those things down in our culture. And it starts with us, absolutely. One thing that I wanted to get on or touch on, as far as black women were concerned, was the respect factor when it comes from black men. And I think something that I've noticed when it comes to black men is a lot of times when it comes to valuing the life of black women, there's all this there's all these asterisks, there's all these the cynicism and skepticism as to, and they break women up into these different, you know, subcategories of who deserves respect and who doesn't deserve, versus who doesn't deserve for them to treat me a certain way. And we're gonna have to stop that. When it comes to black women, I don't care if she's stripping, I don't care if she's a lawyer, I don't care if she's your mom, I don't care if she's a random woman in the grocery store, I don't care if she's somebody that, you know, you work with. Regardless, not just black women, but people in general. But since we're speaking about black women, I'm going to hone in on black men's respect of black women. We can't dichotomize and say Aisha Curry deserves my respect. Aisha Curry is a queen. Aisha Curry is this. Aisha Curry is that. And then we look at Cardi B and say, oh, that hoe, you know, that you know, that slut, that this, that. At the end of the day, both women are women deserving of respect. You know what I'm saying? And that's not our call to say, well, I give respect to this, but I don't give respect to that. You know, both women deserve an equal amount of respect. Both women deserve an equal amount of honor. Now, at the end of the day, being real with you, would I date a woman or would I marry a woman like Cardi B? No, but does that matter? I don't think that black men should base or determine their level of respect for a woman off whether they're related to her, off whether they would potentially date her or marry her, off some type of you know, system of chauvinism that says that women have to act this way and that way and follow these rules and guidelines, because at the end of the day, women just really aren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? You might run into some women that are you know, disrespectful or this or that or whatever, but for the majority, women kind of, if they're one way with this person, they're that way across the board. And you know, we're gonna have to get to a place where we can recognize the value in all black women. That has to be all inclusive. You know what I'm saying? It can't be this one over that one. We keep trying to pin women against each other, and that's just not cool. And it has to start there, because the moment we do that, it's just like today. I had to tweet. You saw, Elliot. I was dealing with a couple guys in my mentions.
Mm-hmm.
You had two young black girls and a plainclothes white guy with a walkie-talkie. I don't know if he was a cop. I don't know if he was mall security. I don't know if he was a Victoria's Secret employee. What I do know is that he put a black woman in a chokehold who did not have merchandise on her person and flung her to the ground. I said that was wrong. I said that was out of line. I said that it shouldn't have happened. And the fact that a black man posted it to Twitter as some type of joke and as some type of laughter, and it had all the retweets that it had, is an issue.
Yeah.
And black men fought me to the bone about why I need to consider all of the aspects and all of the angles and this and that and the other. And I'm saying, I don't care if she was stealing, I don't care if she was doing this or doing that or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, for someone who's not law enforcement, I'm trying to figure out why he had to put his hands on a black woman. Because I just feel, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm making a strong assumption here that if that was, somewhat of the fairer skin, someone who wasn't melanated, I don't feel like it would have went down that way. So, what black women do or what black women say or how they dress or how they act doesn't determine whether or not we should respect them. They should be respected regardless. It shouldn't have to be your mom, your sister, your wife, your daughter, this or that, for you to deem them worthy of your respect.
Definitely, for sure. To the few viewers that are still here, I want you to go ahead and send out this link. Tweet us at RMTV. I don't understand what's going on with Audrey, so it looks like we're going to have to do a part 2 with her, because she apparently got blocked. And I don't know exactly what's going on with her. So with that said, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm going to read some emails as well. I'm trying to quiet them. I need some noise, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, we are currently, to those who are watching, we're currently talking about Black Women Matter, and I'm about to read some emails. To the people that have not responded to my email, it looks like you're about to get a. Y'all, I can't get in, bro. She just sent us a message. So I don't know why Audrey can't get in, but I'm about to read this email and then we'll go from there. I believe that many black men's preference of women is deeply influenced by societal standards of what an ideal woman is. While I have always been interested in men of any color, I do absolutely prefer black men. That being said, it does seem that a number of black men are seemingly more interested in women who aren't black. While I see a great deal of wonderful black men who speak up and out of black women and out for black women, trying to be better men for us and to us, I see an equal amount who exhibit and share terrible opinions and biases about women of their same race, as if their mother isn't black, of course. The same women who raised them and petition the world for their right to live. I do tend to become frustrated with black men, mostly because they become so concerned with their own struggles as black men that they believe that black women don't struggle the same, if not more. And while we are coping with our own heavy load of oppression and seclusion, we are often bearing their load while we balance our own. Additionally, in relationships with black men, affection is something that is often not as strong as I've experienced with men who aren't black. And I'm definitely not always the most affectionate girl. Even with my own father, I have seen him struggle with being more affectionate with his mother, his wife, although he has gotten much better over the years. Note, they're both crazies. Finally, I think I want black men to desire to be better for us the way we desire to to better for them professionally, financially, intimately, mentally, and spiritually, especially, and to know that any black man with a properly supported black woman on his side is pretty close to unstoppable. Um, so, with that said, how do y'all feel about the email? What are your thoughts? Um,
Man, I'm trying like powerful email, powerful email. I
there's more
apologize
too.
if I'm getting, yeah, apologize if I'm getting feedback. But that's what happens when you have Windows and not a Mac. Um, you know what? She said a lot. She said a mouthful in that email right there. And I get like people got to understand that every email that we read is somebody else's, not just their opinion, but it's based off of their personal experience. You know, it could be what they see from a majority on television. It could be personal experience. There could be a variety of different factors. So I want our viewers to pump the brakes on that because some of the tweets are really cool and some of them are interesting with the subtweets, but we won't get into those. I think when it comes to affection, that's probably the only thing I pretty much disagree with in that email. And if y'all hear my daughter, I apologize. She is full of energy and life. Um, I don't see it as black men not being affectionate, you know. I think everybody, for the most part, let me not say everybody, I think we as black men have created the superwoman, like, black woman. It's like, this is what if I'm gonna date a sister gotta come with this. It's, you know, it's that Supergirl, Superwoman type. Like, you know, she gotta be bam, bam, bam. Well, she gotta have this requirement after requirement, which Ashton touched on a little bit earlier, which I think is completely wrong. Yes, to a black man and a black woman that are same mindset, thoughts, and things like that, they are unstoppable. But we don't live in a utopian society, and that's not realistic. There's not a person, place, or thing, because we're all human, that doesn't come to the table with your preconceived notion, preconceived bias, and, you know, certain level of expectation of what you want out of somebody that you're interested in. By no means am I telling the world, hey, you need to lower your standards, but what I am saying is, holistically, we need to be realistic about the things that African American expect from black men. Is there a lag in the African American community on black men? Maybe. You could call it generational bias. You could call it generational curse. You could pinpoint it to a lot of different things in a lot of different situations. But as far as being affectionate, I think that goes a little bit deeper, because when you talk about affection, you got to break that down. Like, it's not just, you know, hugs, kisses, sending nice text messages. You know, it's, in my opinion, it's a lot of the little things that make affection so important and so prominent. Because I know people that wouldn't be what society would call affectionate to each other, and then they got married, and then they're the most loving, affectionate people that you ever saw. So I think when we talk about, you know, black men not being affectionate, it's what is your definition of affection? You know, it's like, what is your definition of this? What is your definition of this? Because we can't really begin to make progress and headway. We can talk about black men need to stop doing this, black men need to stop doing that. That's all, you know, well and good, but it's just a lot of talk. It doesn't really move us forward. It's okay, roundtable discussion. What are your expectations? Here are our expectations. Can we move forward together as a whole? And I think doing that, as great as it sounds, is not impossible and not necessarily even inconceivable, but maybe not as probable or as prominent as we all would like to think.
Ashton, what about you? What were your thoughts about the email?
I do notice. I do notice, and I think it's something that has been passed down through African American culture. But I do notice for sure that there's a chasm between black men and black women. There's already the chasm between men and women. There's already the battle of the sexes, but
Hmm.
there's something particular to black men and black women that there's always an extra bit of fight. There's always an extra bit of opposition when it comes to us. And I think that that was interesting that she touched on the fact that there's a lack of affection um, between black people. I'm not going to say that black love doesn't exist. I'm not going to say that black love is lacking and oh, it's almost non-existent and this and that because that's just not true. But I will say that for whatever reason, outwardly and inwardly, we're pinned against each other. Um, we're placed at odds with each other, and I would have to really research and study and think and ponder why, and I know because I know there's a reason why, but I absolutely believe that there is tension between black men and black women in general. And I think that that's something that we have to really consider when we have these types of conversations about how black men feel about black women, how black women feel about black men, et cetera, et cetera. Because for black women to look at black men as a whole and say, I don't feel loved, I don't feel protected, I don't feel valued, I don't feel honored. It's it's valid for them to do so, but we also have to look at why. We also have to look at what it is what it is that makes, I guess, black women uh, that makes them make it exclusive to us. Do other races of women say that about their men in particular, not just men in general, but do Hispanic women say, you know, Hispanic men this and that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. White men this and that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or is it just us? And on the flip side of that, do uh, white men and Hispanic men and Asian men do those same things to their women in particular? Because black men always have the world to say about what black women are doing right. You know, so I think that was interesting. It was definitely a mouthful. It's something to just chew on and really get into, historically and contextually, and really just consider for sure. Absolutely.
Hey, Elliot, we got a super dope question
Okay.
on Twitter from
Go ahead.
at JustBmo26. Shout out to you, Miss Moore. She said, "What do you think is the next biggest lesson that Black women in our 20s have to learn from Black women in their 50s in regards to how we present ourselves?" I answered back to that, so I'm gonna let you and Ashton go ahead and take that one.
Hey, Bianca, I know her. I used to work with her. Did she just make a Twitter just for this? That is awesome. I love you, Bianca. Thank you for supporting
Wow,
Road
super
Manhood
big head.
TV.
All right.
That is super. Like, I've never seen anybody just create a profile to ask a question to Road Manhood TV. That's the first in history. I love it. Go ahead, Ashley. You can answer first.
Um, whew, you know, when it comes to how black women, quote unquote, present themselves, um, everyone can take inward maintenance. Everyone can take inventory of themselves and the demographic that they represent. When it comes to black men, you know, while I won't allow white people or anyone really to say that if black men pull their pants up, then they wouldn't get shot. Or if black men didn't listen to this, they wouldn't get shot. Or if black men didn't do this, then they, I'm not going to allow anybody to throw respectability at black men or black people in general or anybody in general. But being a black man, I don't like to see certain things um, come out of the demographic that I represent. And that's absolutely true, and I think that's fair. When it comes to black women, it's almost as if I don't know if I can answer that question because I'm not a black woman. If I had to take a stab at it, I would say that um, there's a lot that our generation in general can learn from the elders. There's a lot that our culture and the society that we live in that focuses and values the wrong things. I think that we could all learn something from the elders. What black women can learn from women that are in their 50s, women that are in their 60s, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I guess like I always joke and say, the limit does not exist. There's so much. As far as presenting themselves, though, I think every woman has to decide for herself how she wants to present herself. I don't think it's anyone, including older black women's place, to tell women in general how to present themselves.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like I just said, a woman's presentation shouldn't determine outward respect, the respect that she receives. So when it comes to how older women can teach, younger women to present themselves, I think it's something that would be more individual than it would be broad. Because not every black woman is gonna present herself the same way. Not every black woman is gonna have the same belief system. Not every black woman is gonna have the same code of ethics. So, I think we have to definitely listen and gain the wisdom from the elders, but I think we have to do so individually. And I think that as a generation, we have to find those authority figures who are older and who have walked the paths that we're trying to walk. Those mentors, those authority figures that we see, that we think that we would like to be when we're their age, and kind of latch on to them, because we do have a selfish kind of puffed up pride thing about our generation, where we don't really need anybody to tell us anything, and we don't really need this and that, whatever. So, do I value the opinions and the lessons that older black women could teach younger black women? Absolutely. But I don't know that if I can answer, first of all, as a black man, and second of all, as a young black man, if I can answer the question, what should older black women teach younger black women about how to present themselves? Because I think at the end of the day, it's really all up to each individual black woman as to what she wants to learn and what she's open and available to learn.
Yeah, definitely. I agree to what both of you guys said. I think for the most part, even to answer that question, and Ashton, you said that a little bit earlier, there's really a lot of wisdom that you can receive from the older generation, and that's even biblical. Like,
Right.
it's like one of the prime pivotal moments in the Bible. I can't even think of the actual scripture name because I just went blank. But specifically, so I think our generation, not even just women, but men and women in general, have to really engage with them and really learn from them instead of trying to figure out from somebody who is the same age as us. Not to say that we don't have the same like wisdom, but we don't have the same experience as a 50-year-old. It's just like in basketball, when you have Kobe, who's in his 20th season, who's been in the league for a while has 5 championships, whereas Steph Curry, he just won his first one. What if he wants 5? He's not going to try to learn that from Draymond Green. He's going to learn that from Kobe
Right.
because Kobe's been there. And so, same way with the older generation, they've been there. They've been to high school, they've been to college, they've been in the workforce, they've been there, they've done that, they've earned their stripes. And so, our way of respecting that is learning from them and getting that knowledge from them. So, even in regards to presenting yourself, I think, um, and everybody's different. Everybody's way of thinking when it comes to presenting themselves accordingly is different, right? So for me, all I've known is to dress accordingly, dress properly, like dress shirts, dress pants. I'm not saying I wear that every single day, but just things that I've learned from my father is just not sagging your pants, all that type of stuff. Like those things matter. And we're not even going to get to the whole discussion of police brutality, and because it's a whole different twirl, a whole 360 that we will be doing. But specifically in our culture, when you go, this is an analogy I always use. When you go into an elevator and you see 2 dudes in there, it's like if a girl walks into an elevator and see 2 dudes standing there, one of them has a full suit on, the other one has on a baggy tee and some pants. Which one is she going to gravitate to? Um, and so it may be a poor example, but it just generalizes it. Like the perception that a lot of us have when it comes to presentation is that, oh well, I'm gonna look this way because this presents itself like what I'm attracted to, whereas the other person doesn't. That type of thing. So I think there's just a lot of wisdom that you learn from a 50-year-old. A lot of wisdom that you can't learn from a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 24-year-old, 25-year-old. Not what you can learn from these blogs and these single ministries, like single ministries that have ran by 21-year-olds who haven't done nothing, like those type of things. So that's my answer to that question. So yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
So we are a little behind. Audrey, the queen of the show, is not here anymore. She was blocked apparently. I don't know if she blocked herself. I didn't block her. Maybe she was trying to come in way too many times and say you can't do it no more. So we're gonna have a part 2, and we're gonna wrap up here. Perception is everything. I'm reading some of the tweets that are on here as well. If you have any more questions, please go ahead and ask that now. I think no, actually, I'm gonna read one last email from a married woman.
Hey,
About
shout out about that married life.
so this is
Don't
what
hate,
she
man.
said.
Don't hate, man. You better get you one. I got mine. You
Yeah,
got to
I'm
get you
trying, brother. I am not hating. I'm appreciating. I don't want some of that
man.
same love.
Look, y'all in the South. Y'all need to come on up, man.
Hey, you know they try to marry us off at 13.
Yeah, like man, look, me, my god brothers, like, look, all my friends for the most part that are married, all of us are under 29. Just boom.
So this is what this married woman says. I'm not going to indulge information. I told everybody it's going to be anonymous. So unfortunately, there's truth to what she said. We're talking about the tweet that happened a couple weeks ago. I can't speak for anyone other than myself, but I've had more than a few experiences with black men that were negative. So I don't understand. Wait, hold on. But I've had more than a few experiences with black men that were negative, so I do understand what this lady means. I am with a black man now, and I love him very much. Lord knows before settling down, I really didn't want to deal with any more of them. Part of my experience with black men were my fault because of how I carried myself. I was not portraying myself in any manner that would cause anyone of any color to want to settle down with me. But even before I went off the deep end, I was too committed. I was in 2 committed relationships. Both I thought would end up in marriage, but they didn't because of the lack of respect clearly represented or presented. Before both these men came into my life, I was mainly surrounded by white men. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood and went to a predominantly white middle and high school. White boys were made white boys never made sexual comments to me, even though I was always thicker than my white female classmates. And the ones who did try to make a pass and compliment my figure, it was more of an appreciation, seemingly, rather than looking at me as something fun for the night. Then there's the hair discussion. White men never made negative comments about my hair to me. Sure, they would ask questions like when I would go from a short perm to long braids to a fro, etc. But they would tell me they wish white women would they wish white women had that kind of versatility. When I was in college, I was going through some financial issues, like most were, and there was a span of a couple of weeks when I didn't have a sew-in like usual and rock my natural fro. A few black men, ones I was actually cool with, or so I thought, subtweeted me one day on Twitter and said I fell off and needed to get my hair done. Don't do that natural S no more, and things like that. I was really offended and didn't wear my natural hair out. No perm again for almost 2 years. So by the time I got to the age to truly desire a husband, I was exhausted, but deep down I wanted a black man to love me and to fall in love with. I really did after I got my life together and presented myself in a manner to get chose. I would tell black men I would end up talking to about my past and such, and they would discuss it. I would meet white men and tell them about my story in the same way, and they were just a lot more accepting. God decided to give me a black man at the end of the day, and I'm fine with it. But I think it would help us whole if both men and women would stop acting like these issues don't exist and address them like you're doing. We are leaving our race for others, but it isn't for no reason. We want respect, honor, and to be cherished the same way black men do. But if our men aren't doing it, it is only natural to gravitate to where we will be. Thoughts, comments, concerns?
You
I
got it,
agree with
John.
her.
There you go.
No, I agree with her. Like, I mean, it's great that, we're addressing it, but a lot of times, and I've had this just from personal experience, from being on college campuses to just meeting greets with other people, poetry shows, and things of that nature. It's very hard, it seems like, for our generation to have these open and honest conversations, because you tend to get, it starts off good, and then somebody says something, and then you either get a guy or a girl that's ready just to rip that person's head off. And it's like, man, we can't really get nowhere if you about to yell and scream over something that somebody said. I mean, disagreements are supposed to happen. You may not like or agree with everybody's opinion, but you definitely need to respect it. So in my educational field, we call them courageous conversations, and typically we talk about courageous conversations in terms of race and gender and equity over equality and things of that nature. But I think in our own African American community, we need to begin to have courageous conversations with each other, young men and young women, meeting with older men and older women, and saying, okay, this is our problem, them giving their perspective. I think it's very indicative on our generation to do more than what we're currently doing. Because Ashton alluded to it earlier, folks out here listening to different songs and getting their information from, different venues, and that's how they end up acting. Everybody has a teacher. Everybody is learning something from somewhere. So maybe it's incumbent on us as young African American males, as Elliot always likes to allude to, as kings and as royalty, to do a better job, not just in our communities, but in our personal lives, for the betterment of the African American community as a whole. Maybe.
White men appreciating black women more than black men do. Let's talk about that. So one thing that we have to keep in mind is that many times, the same way that black women have the issue with black men looking out to different races of women and saying, oh, she's exotic. Oh, her hair is curly. Oh, her skin is this. Her, her body's made this way and whatever, whatever. Oh, Brazilian women, they got that almond skin color. Oh, Asian women, they got this and they got that, whatever, whatever, whatever. I think what we have to keep in mind is that for black men, when we fetishize other races of women, many times when white women, I'm sorry, when black women experience a quote unquote appreciation or a higher appreciation from white men than they do black men, um, sometimes it may not be genuine. I think that's just something that we have to consider. Uh, and that's not to demonize white men, but it is to say that in a sex-driven and hypersexual society, you know, fetishes are real. And I think that we have to realize that the same way that black women don't like the fact that, you know, black men look out to other races and say, oh, this is beautiful, that is beautiful, whatever, whatever. You know, you had white slave masters that will whip a black woman and then turn around and sleep with her. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I don't think that black men appreciating it's the same thing as when you have a white man who makes a racist comment or whatever, and the first thing he runs to is, oh, well, my girlfriend is black, my best friend is black. I can't be racist because I have these people that are connected to me that are black. I appreciate this black person. I appreciate that black person versus I value black life. It's different to appreciate the culture of people versus actually valuing them as a whole. Um, and I think that there are some instances where black women hear things that they would like to hear from black men, from white men, but the reason that they're coming from white men is because white men may have a specific fetish for black women. Not necessarily that they're just so pro black woman and that they're so respectful and that they're so, oh my gosh, they're just, such upright gentlemen. I think for one, you have to realize that black women are painted in our media and in our culture and in our society as no nonsense, as will bust you upside your head, as white men or white people or people in general. They think about black women and who are they thinking about? Loud, aggressive, this and that, whatever, whatever. So you got to kind of think, okay, well, if this white guy is not giving me a hypersexual comment, or if he's not saying this or he's not saying that, is it because he respects me so much, or is it because he's afraid I'm gonna cuss him out? You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then we have to explore that. Um, we also have to consider the fact that um, when it comes to the issues and things that black men say about black women, when it comes to natural hair, when it comes to not appreciating their black skin, when it comes to not appreciating dark complexions and different things like that, there are reasons for those things. It's not we weren't just born, hating dark skinned people. We weren't just born hating natural hair. Those things were ingrained into us as a culture, as a society. And those are things that we have to all fight to tear down. Those are ideas that we all have to fight to dismantle. Um, does it excuse the actions of black men? No, it doesn't at all. Um, and I'm not asking for more patience or more grace from black women. What I am saying is know where this stuff is coming from, uh, and like the young lady, I'm glad that she found a black man to love her the way that she wanted to. Um, look into different circles. Look into different um types of black men, because there are so many different black people in general are not um you know just one singular thing. At the end of the day, we're so diverse within ourselves. So if you're not getting appreciation from this type of black man or that type of black man, I don't think it's right for black men or black women to just write off the race. And
Hmm.
that's the issue that I find with some interracial relationships, is that when it comes to black people, you know, it's always some type of, well, black women didn't do this and black women didn't do that and black women weren't this and weren't that. So I'm gonna marry this woman. So I'm gonna marry that woman. And vice versa for black women when they talk about black men. Black men didn't do this. Black men didn't do that. Black men weren't this. They weren't that. Whatever, whatever. Even some of the most gross stereotypes that you could ever, imagine, they say these things as justification as to why they dated outside their race. Date outside your race all you want to. Marry outside your race all you want to. I love it. I have cousins. I have family members who have done it. It's beautiful. Love is beautiful no matter the color, period. Do it with a pure heart, though. Don't do it for vengeance, against the people of your own, race and kind. So I guess that's my spiel on that.
All right, to the viewers that we have right now, if you're still tuned in, if you got a question, go ahead and tweet that to us now, because we're about to close out in a minute. John, I believe you were about to say something. Go ahead and go with that.
John?
Or,
Yeah.
No. I heard him. I didn't. I didn't really have too much to say. Ashton kind of encompassed it all. I'd like to encourage African American men and women as a whole to begin to have legitimate conversations, not just about some of the things that we talked about, but there needs to create a space, create a room, a time, a place to be completely open and honest. One of the initiatives that I helped to start in undergrad, and I hope to restart it up. Can't exactly remember the name. It changed names a couple of different times, but basically, men and women would come together, and just write their thoughts, on a piece of paper, and then we read them out loud, and then we maybe talk about it, we discuss it, so nobody got put on Front Street or blast like that, and then we talked about things like these. I would encourage people to do that in their communities. Hate, period, is of the devil. So whether it be towards your own race, a gender, or something like that, that's not. Let me be politically incorrect. That's not cool. One of the things we have to begin to do, and like I said, Ashton's been kind of hitting home, so I haven't had too much to say about it. But one of the things we have to begin to do as young men and as young women is appreciate each other as people first.
Yeah.
You have to begin to look at the person, regardless of melanin or melanin deficiency, for that matter.
Right.
Like what type of person are they? Do they know God? Okay, they say they know God. Do they have a relationship with Jesus and filled with the Holy Spirit? And for those of you watching, if you haven't figured it out already, I'm the Bible person on the panel, full throttle. I'm not saying that my brothers aren't, because they definitely are young men of God like myself. I'm just at the point where I can't really talk about anything else.
he has a position in the church, y'all. Like, he's legit.
Okay, okay, Ellie, if you want to go there, you got a position too.
You're right. I do.
Right.
We all got a position, but
one body, different parts. One body, different parts. You have to begin to look at the person first, and it sounds unrealistic. It really does, because we live in a society that says, oh, color doesn't matter, when that legitimately is all that matters. It is, oh, they did this because they're black. Oh, they did this because they're white. Oh, because I've had experiences with light-skinned women or fair-skinned women that are African American, I'm going to do dot, dot, dot. Oh, because dark-skinned women did this to me, I'm going to do dot, dot, dot. You got to begin to look at the person, because I guarantee you that once you begin to look at the individual and really take a step back and reflect, you're going to notice that as a young African American man, or as an African American man, period, bruh, it's not you that necessarily has the problem, but it's you that is attracted to that type of person, to that type of personality, regardless of what their skin tone is. They may all happen to have the same skin tone, but there's something in you that is attracted to whatever it is they keep doing to you. That's what it boils down to, point blank, period. So I think once we get past that as a people, then we can really begin to heal.
Definitely. I'm checking out the hashtag right now. We're about to close because we are a little bit over time. I want also to give my two co-hosts here who were fashionably late. Not saying that there was anything wrong with them being late, but they were fashionably late, and so I wanted to give them time to say their spiel.
I was late because I was taking care of my family. It was my night to cook. If you follow me on Instagram, at Nehemiah the Poet, you know me. I get down. I like to cook, man. So tonight was a baked chicken Alfredo with broccoli and butter garlic rolls from scratch, by the way.
You ain't gotta sell yourself no more. You got your woman. You ain't gotta sell yourself no more, bro.
I'm just gonna put it out there. No, because no, bro. Let's be honest. Black folks have that stigma of always being late. Always late.
That's all I can think about. That's all I can think about.
Always being late. So it's like, hey, Ashton out there handling business, down in Houston. By the way, bro, I'm going to be out there in January and in March for like a good week. And then, me, I do what I do. Ladies, if you got a man who needs cooking lessons, come out at me. I got you.
All right. Well, he got his regardless. But looks like all hearts and minds are clear on the hashtag. We are going to do a part 2 because I really want Audrey's perspective. She is the queen of the show, and so it would not be a Black Women's Matter topic without her input and her craziness. So I have to get her on the show. We're doing a part 2. I don't know if it should be Black Women Matter TOO, as in like, why did I get married to, or Black Women Matter number 2. But either way, you'll see it. We're going to tweet it out a lot. Any last words, Ashton? Got any last things, last comments?
Black women matter, man. At the end of the day, I love y'all. If there are Black women watching or they're going to watch the playback of this, please know that Black men who love you guys and cherish you guys and want to marry you all and consider you all the top of the totem pole, they aren't the minority. You know what I'm saying? They may not be the majority, but they aren't just few and far between. We out here, and we looking for y'all, and we want y'all, and we value y'all, and we care about y'all. We want, we want. Are you telling me to wrap it up, or are you Millie rocking?
Millie rocking.
Seriously?
Nah, bro. I think he was trying to give you that. Hey, wrap it up. He was trying to give you that.
I'm giving my ode to the Black women.
No, I'm Millie rocking.
Man, he was trying to give you that, professor. I'm presenting this project during finals. You got 5 minutes left, flashcard type look. That's what he was doing.
No, I won't try to cut him off and wrap him up. I was saying I'm Millie rocking on any block. So that's what I was doing. But yeah, Ashton said a good spiel. Black women do matter, and specifically, and I know that people who probably seen this title may have thought that we were going to just go in on white culture and everything like that. We genuinely If you dating outside of your race, if that's your thing, then do that like Ashton said with a pure heart. But don't turn around and say, well, I've decided to go right because the left wing has attitudes and all that other stuff. And we'll talk about the attitudes of black women and why they're there, why they're prevalent, as you make so a lot of black women say. Also, to the people who were on Twitter today, you might have saw Ashton get called Sean King slash D-Ray wannabe, and then I got called a simp. Keep them coming because I love it. I love it actually, and I'm going to respond to every dude that says something negative toward me because I promise you, you're not going to shake me, bro.
Nah, bro. See, that's the thing, and that's where I'm gonna bring a slight amount of correction to you because dude hit me up. It's probably the same dude that hit y'all up. Dude told me to take off my cape, so I thought that was funny. But I'm gonna say this:
He said what?
He told me to take off my cape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was told I had on capes.
Yeah.
I had on mad capes today.
Apparently, we out here flying. If that's the case, I hope I'm on my way to heaven. But I will say this to black men and black women: you never acknowledge foolishness, ever. Like, I'm not gonna mention his name. Y'all can go look it up yourselves, do all that research. But you never acknowledge foolishness, and you never address it. What somebody, I'll just say this for me, but I hope everybody gets this. What somebody has to say about me, it doesn't matter. I know how God thinks about me. I know how my wife thinks about me. I got a good idea of how my daughter thinks about me because she's 2.5, so she acting kind of funny right now. But most
This
of you got
fool
kids.
did say take your cape off.
Yeah, that dude said, like, bro, take my cape off. You don't acknowledge, we don't acknowledge foolishness.
Yeah,
We
and to be
don't
honest,
acknowledge foolishness. So I would encourage you, Elliot, don't even respond. Like, don't even respond to these dudes or that one particular guy. Like, you know what? Keep it coming.
nah,
I say keep it coming.
peep this. There's
Doesn't
a
even deserve a response or a rebuttal.
there,
If he acting like Drake being all in his feelings, that's unfortunate. I'm all out of hotline feelings for you, bro. I ain't got nothing for you.
yeah. So peep this. The reason why I responded, one, I know I shouldn't have responded, but I was already upset. I was already tight because of what somebody had said to Ashton, and I was like, yo, like. Because I had the same views as Ashton had for what he was doing earlier, and so I'm like, basically, if you say that to him, you gonna say that to me. That ain't gonna fly. I'm already pissed off. I'm mad. So he came to me, another dude. I was talking. I made a tweet, and John, I don't know if you saw this. Ashton, you probably saw it though. But I
I'm
said
looking for it.
that dudes are so concerned about not wearing capes that they somehow totally push off, and I'm just writing it verbatim or saying it verbatim now because I totally forgot the whole thing. But they totally just don't care about the protection of women. Then dude tweets me like simp tweet of the year, and I was like, whoa, one, what you're not going to do is say
I
that
got
it's
see,
you know.
but I got 3 words for him. 3 words. Actually, four. Four. I got 4 words for you. God bless you, sir. God bless you.
So
Because there's not a thing anybody can say or do towards me that would make me want to uh, retaliate in any form, shape, or fashion. If your enemy be hungry, give him something to eat. If the enemy strikes you on one side of your face, go ahead and turn that other side. I'm not saying everybody is capable of that. I know that there's some times where it's just like, all right, God, I know what I'm supposed to do in this situation, but he gonna catch these laying hands real quick. But I think it's important to remember as young men, young African American women, that in all that you do, to not only give God thanks, give God praise, but acknowledge Him in everything that you do, making sure that He gets the glory out of all that is said and done. If somebody says something against you, hey, God bless you, I forgive you, move on.
exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna try to exercise that next time. But today it was just, no, no. No, that's just it don't fly like that. But um, to everybody that's viewing, to the rest of you viewers, we will be having a part 2, Black Women Matter 2 on the 29th, December 29th. So those people who were supposed to reply back to my email, you still have a chance to respond. And there's still some people. Hey, little girl.
Say hi,
Hey.
Uncle Elliot.
Hey. I'm sorry. I got a soft spot for kids now. We got to go out the. So yeah, Black Women Matter 2, December 29th. That is.
Black Women Matter.
Oh yeah!
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay.
Kiss.
Bye bye. So yeah, December 29th. That's 2 days before the New Year, so you know we got
December
to turn up.
29th. A king was born on that day. Holla at your boy.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
It's my birthday. Like, did you
Yeah, I
not catch
know.
that?
No,
Ashley
yeah,
caught
I
it.
know. No, I called it. I said, yeah, definitely. But I was like, wait a minute. That's not Christmas. And then either way, I don't know. But so yeah, we got to turn up for that because obviously that's 2 days. That's one, his birthday, but also two, that is only a day or so away from 2016. So we got to end 2015 on a good note. To the panel, we got Ashton, King Ashton right here. He is Lights Please 3_ on Twitter. We got King John Harper. He is Nehemiah the Poet on Twitter. And you know me, the real _Elliot. And Audrey, who is not here, her name is Audriana Latrice on Twitter.
Latrice!
To everybody that is watching, thank you guys so much for viewing. We will see you December 29th. Remember to stay royal. Peace.